let's talk about kettlebells. Whatever your fitness question, the answer is kettlebell. If you don't have the space, kettlebell. If you don't have the time, kettlebell. If you don't have the investment, kettlebell. If you want to improve your posture, kettlebell. If you want to improve your stamina, kettlebell. If you want to improve your strength, kettlebell. You like to do HIIT, CrossFit, kettlebell. You like to power lift, kettlebell. Kettlebell is the single piece of equipment. If you have to invest in something this year, let it be the kettlebell. So where does the story really begin? Even though in its present clear and identifiable form, the kettlebells originated unequivocally in Russia, the oldest, perhaps identifiable kettlebell was the Bibon stone, 143.5 kilo red sandstone with a carved hand grip, engraved on which is the saying, Bibon, the son of Fola, lifted me over his head with a single hand. In 1700s, the farmhands of Russia started playing around with kettlebells that they used to measure the dry farm produce with. They swung it around for fun, and strength training and strength demonstration became local village games. Kettlebells have been around in Scotland, Greece, most of Europe, but that's not the only place where they've been. The Indian swinging clubs or the Persian meal, which were swung around the shoulder, have been the first handheld, unstable, changing weights that led eventually to the formal kettlebell. How to get started? For men, anything between 12 to 16 kilos is a good starting weight, and for women, anything between 8 to 12 kilos is a good starting weight. However, it really depends on who it is and how much you've been used to lifting. Start small, but with the kettlebells, it's that Goldilocks sweet spot. If you don't have enough weight, it doesn't engage your muscles, and if you have too much weight, you can't lift it with proper form, which risks injury. Let's get some very basic moves clear. The basic lift, the basic swing, then the halos, and the one-arm swings. There is a lot that you can do with kettlebells, but if you pick up one exercise, that would be doing the swings in the proper form. So this is the standard kettlebell swing. Start with your footing just outside of your hips, but within your shoulder width apart. The knees will have a slight bend when you start. The swing is snapping at the hips, providing that explosive, almost plyometric move. The kettlebells traditionally are supposed to come parallel to the ground in the Russian swing, but in the American swing, which you're now going to watch, they go overhead, higher than your shoulder width. Don't try to aim for a particular height or for the parallelness. This is the deadlift. In the deadlift, you will start in the squatting position. Keep your arms straight throughout the motion. And again, snap at the hips at the end of your movement. The dead into the high lift, dead into the high lift. Halos, my personal favorite. The halos are a great warm-up exercise, great for shoulder mobility, but if you've got that kettlebell which is just that slight bit heavier, they involve the lateral abdominal musculature also, the lats also. Notice how you're supposed to breathe with each swing. Taking it across from one side back to the start position. Single hand swings. Single hand swings also work to stabilize your contralateral abdominal musculature. They activate the spiral of movement. Notice that your hips are to snap at the end of each swing. There is that little bit of pause when you swing the kettlebell from one hand to the next. And all-time traditional favorite, the clean and the press. Pick up the kettlebell from between your feet, over to your shoulder and rise up.
So for an all-round athlete, why would you recommend kettlebell training?
Kettlebell training is a very, very time efficient way to condition your body, both for functional strength as well as for powerlifting. Most powerlifters actually need a day or two off from their active training and they go into what is steady state cardio. And kettlebells offer a very non-boring, very interesting and involved way of fulfilling that to the T. Also, kettlebells are a great way to lubricate your joints, to stretch your tendons, to condition your muscles, to improve your cardio, to improve your circulation, and a great way for fat loss. Just the basic swing engages everything from the heel to the shoulder. So the posterior chain, and when the swing is going forward, even the anterior chain and the core and abs get involved in the movement. So it's a full body, functional, explosive workout that can be done very time efficiently.
So in that sense, you reap the benefits of compound movement in a linear motion.
Or you reap the benefits of compound movement not just with one linear movement, but also with the constantly changing center of gravity, activating different vectors in your muscle response to the movement of the kettlebell.
So for me personally, as a pianist and an enthusiast of adventure sports, what does it offer me?
Oh, this is a great way to improve your grip strength and the forearm strength, because the grip of the kettlebell is a little bigger and a little thicker than your standard barbell. So when you're gripping the kettlebell, your fingers are actually getting activated, and with the swing, it's the forearm which is moving to the greatest ability.
So that would help me out not only with the piano, but with climbing and mountain biking with things like bunny hops.
And also improve your deadlift. So overall, kettlebells offer you the benefits of almost any form of training, whether it is cardio, strength, stamina, endurance, powerlifting, HIIT, CrossFit, all rolled into one bell that you hold in your hands. Apart from that, the injuries that other exercises or forms of fitness training give you are actually rehabilitated with the kettlebell. If you've developed a low back pain lifting, lift the kettlebell. It'll adjust to your muscles and it will allow you to heal by changing your physics. Thank you for watching. It's been great talking to you.